Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here. On the show this evening is the one and only Southside, the one in Drumchapel's finest. How we doing, Southside?
Hi, good mate, yourself. Good to be on with a legend tonight, Bridgeman.
You just killed my line there, mate.
I know I did. I just thought I would. I knew you were getting to, and I thought, nah, I'm not having it.
Very good.
Just killed my line. I might as well use two go on it. Evening, Bridge.
Good evening, Oxia, and of course, Southside. Thanks, Southside. Well done. That's really funny. And obviously, Techie Boys in the background. Can you just say a big good evening to everybody listening in from all over the world? So, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Now, we had a substitution, then we had a double substitution today. Big Stevie's lost his voice, believe it or not. I still wanted to come on, Southside.
Well, I'll give him his due. He was in top form on Saturday night when we had a few refreshments, although he had a few more than me by the time I got there. So, was that what it is that he lost his voice?
Yes, he's got a wee infection, mate. Just for the record, mate, he spoke to me on Friday and says, I'm no drinking on Saturday, so I take it that went out the window, did it?
Aye. It was good to see Mark from Corby, and I can't remember his pal. Sorry, mate. I know you're listening to the show. I apologise. I can't remember his name. But
George? Was it George?
No, it wasn't George. No. But Mark from Corby was there as well. Had a few with Mark and had a blather with him. But the big game was in top form on Saturday. I'll give him his due. But he'd had a good few sherbets by then, but certainly enjoyable. He's a good laugh as always, mate, as you know.
I know. But we'll get well soon. Listen, how are you, Southside, before we bring the bridge in?
Get there, mate. Get there, do.
We'll not go into the full story, but we'll get your thoughts on what's happened with the team. How's the bridge?
Oh, excellent, pal. Thanks very much. Really excellent. Very happy too. Very happy.
Right, Southside, we've not heard from you. Give us your thoughts, mate.
I thought we done well, played well. Not done well, played well. And just the usual, I think, is that went into extra time. I think we ran out of steam. I think the game on Thursday night started to take its toll on a few of the players, energy levels wise. And the subs that come on didn't inject that wee bit of maybe quality and energy that you needed. And somebody usually misses in a spot kick, and unfortunately for us, it was us this time. Disappointed in that, Ox, obviously. Listen, we can say we done well and all that. At the end of the objective is to lift the trophy at the end. I would rather have played stinking and won it, and say that we played well in the game, and a lot of players put in some good performances. One or two, I think, weren't great on the day, but listen, we've played a lot of football, and I think energy levels caught up in us at somewhere at point, and I thought a couple of the goals were cheap that we gave away. But apart from that, at the end of the day, we didn't lift the trophy, but I can see there's been progress in the squad, as in playing style and that, and forming partnerships, and I think hopefully we just need to get the head down now, make sure we pick up the 3 points on Saturday and carry it on for there at the moment, you know.
Bridge?
Yeah, 100%. The last statement, it obviously agree everything he says, but the last part there, that's 100% correct. We need to win Saturday. No messing about. There's no double taking. Every single person that played at the weekend they've been praised, and not necessarily to the highest, but some of them to the highest. We did very well as a team, and we were unlucky, in my opinion, unlucky. And we can't drop that. It will be so bad for the club if we drop that to the everything that we've got, the fire in the belly, everything, the pace, everything about it. Keep that going, and we'll win.
what you're saying is you want them to play with the same intensity and the same pace and the same skill as they've shown in the last 2 matches. Is that what you're saying, Rich?
Correct.
Not a lot to ask, Southside, is it?
No, it's just that thing that we asked for: show commitment and desire, which they have been shown, and try and get the consistency working. We're back to league football now. Cup's gone. Just need to let it go and forget it. Unfortunately for us, we've no go at it, and that's what we wanted. But we can say that we've been playing pretty well, creating chances. So it's about moving on. And the next game's a league game. And that's what we're looking for, a good performance on Saturday, Ibrox. And the 3 points, mate.
Should we let it go, Southside?
No. I let it go as fact as the result is, but no, you can see there was certain things happened in the game where you could feel as if we've been treated very, very harshly, to the point where you're wondering if they actually bothered looking at it at all, if they want to even look at it. But there was a couple of big decisions in the game, and we were on the receiving end of them, obviously, in the wrong way, mate.
Aye. The point I'm trying to make, there is precedent for this, isn't there? In world football, there is precedent where the games have been replayed because of our Bridgeman. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Well, only the one about I saw it in the forum, and I actually was stunned when I saw it. I never realised that they did that anyway. I know they've complained and things like that, but that if they replayed that, and I don't know what the score was, so I
think the team that complained won it.
Well, whether you are then, so justice was right. So as far as that's concerned, but I just think the authorities in this wee country of ours, the authorities in this country are all the same. They're all tarred with the same brushes in most of the clubs, and they don't support Rangers in any way, shape, or form. But they do have a leaning towards the other side of the city, in my opinion. And I'm not saying they're bitter or anything like that. I'm just saying that they've got more of a leaning that way than they have to us. And I don't expect anything from them. I never did. I only want to see... Correct. I want it to be right. Do the thing right. And if you're going to put people on VAR, I complained bitterly. I've wanted VAR in this country for a long, many a year. And I can assure you, when we were getting it, I was delighted over the moon. And then started all the nonsense. Well, it's not going to be the same VAR as in England. And I thought, well, there you go. That's going to slice and dice or set up for whomever it is. And so all they can do from a procedure perspective, well, we've got VAR, and everybody accepts the fact that we've got VAR, and they go with the decisions. And when we get it wrong, the probability is the VAR hasn't made any decision, and that's happened a number of times to us.
Aye, well, there's a catalogue of these incidents, mate, and I just want to run them through you, yeah? Some of the recent cup finals, semi-finals. See if you can guess the team it's playing. Against Motherwell, awarded a penalty kick for a blatant dive. Motherwell given a red card for the Brendan player, Mr. Sinclair. Semi-final v Hearts, Christie awarded a penalty for a dive in the second half. Remember, there's no VAR. League Cup Fairness, Aberdeen, Mr. Dallas awards a penalty for handball a yard outside the box. Biota headbutts Gary Mackay-Stephen in the box. The referee stops again for a head knock. You remember that one? Same incident as he got a penalty at Easter Road last season, yeah, which was a big penalty. Turned out to be League Cup final versus us. The game in which three of their players, including the goal scorer, were never at any point onside, including a free before the free kick was taken. You wonder who the linesman was that day. A bonus for anybody that can get the linesman that day. Nobody on the panel. Yeah? Nobody on the panel. 2019 Scottish Cup final v Hearts. Eduardo awarded a penalty for a dive while Celtic trailed the game and hadn't registered a shot on target. 2:21 FIFA. Hibs denied a stone ball penalty in the last minute for a shot. Coago offside for Celtic's equaliser. Yeah, I know what happened to be offside, but there was no VAR then. Blatant handball in the Kilmarnock, that was a tragedy. Remember that one? The weather was horrendous. Blatant handball in the build-up to Celtic's opener ignored. Kilmarnock denied a stonewall penalty in the last minute inside the box. Nobody could believe it at the time. Scottish Cup semi-final last year versus Aberdeen. Denied a penalty towards Aberdeen. Denied a penalty towards Celtic, a soft free kick. Kyogo falls for the Aberdeen defender and the build up to the equaliser. Scottish Cup final, Rangers denied a perfectly good goal with a soft challenge on the goalkeeper. 2024 League Cup final, Celtic allowed to take the lead with a goal in which the goal scorer fouls the player, mark him in the build up to the goal. It never went back 10 minutes to see if there was a foul. I think they'd done that once at Ibrox. Took about half an hour to rewind the tapes outside. It was a foul, I must admit. It was a foul. We know that much. I think you'd had to pop out for an hour shave outside and then come back in. Right. And that's no without mentioning the 2024 League Cup final penalty decision, which the two VAR officials missed, arguably the linesman and the referee. Don't know if a fourth official can influence that. So there we go. When's the rest of the clubs going to wake up? These things even themselves out, do they? Yeah, that's 18, 19, 21, 23, 23, 23, 24. And then that's without some of the other skullduggery that's been on Southside. Moving fixtures, cancelling seasons, moving games, having different teams playing in cup finals, awarding leagues early, tours of Japan. I could go on and on and on. Am I better or am I just nuts? Southside.
Just the Celtic way, innit? You know? I've heard them greet many a time. They don't get any decisions, they don't get this, they don't get that. And you just look at the catalogue. That one, I remember the one against Aberdeen, actually, that semi-final. There was a clash in the box with the usual Johnston and one of the Aberdeen strikers. But the ref eventually, the ball went across the 6-yard box. Now, if you've got a clash of players and you think it's a foul, you blow your whistle. But you let it go. And it just so happened that the Aberdeen player got it. Carter Vickers brings him down. As soon as he brought him down, he put his on CC and went on off, gave away a penalty. Everybody knows it's a penalty. Then Don Robertson decides, guess what? I'm not giving the penalty now. I'm just going to give a free kick to them in the box, in the 6-yard box. And I thought, no, normally referees would blow when they see something happening straight away. They playing the advantage across the box or something, you know.
I don't think you're fair there, mate. What happened there, right? I remember the incident as if it was yesterday, mate. He's got two whistles, right? And one of them's not got a P in it. So he had the one without a P in it when the ball goes the box, right? So he's trying to blow it. So then he had to swap it for the one with the P in it, mate. So I don't think you've been fair in the ref there, mate. Carry on.
That was Mr. Don Robertson that day, you know, and just when you were listing somebody to sit things there as you were going down, that one came to mind. And you're just thinking, right, you're a referee, you know, if it's a foul in the box and it's across the 6-yard box, then you're going to blow your whistle, but he waited. And obviously it didn't go the way you thought it was going to go. You thought, oh no, I need to get a penalty now, ball. No, just get a free kick. That happened a good 10 seconds earlier, you know, when you blow straight away if you think it's a foul. In my eyes anyway, but listen, there's loads of...
That's what the whistle's for, so
aye. Nah, there's loads of them, mate. And listen, always cheated, never defeated, mob, you know, that's their motto. But if you look at the decisions they're getting, and accompanied by either VAR or incompetent referees now, that some of them are borderline brutal. Some of the decisions that I watched, Clancy, he's at it. I know. Some of his decisions have been shocking. The
worst refereeing performance I've seen at Parkhead was a game we won, mate. We beat them with big Katic. And that refereeing performance, if anybody's got the time or the inclination, go and watch the whole game and tell me different. And see the things I've just listed. To all my new listeners, you know who I'm talking to, yeah? Go and check them out. Don't made up. Check them out and see what you think. Yeah? Nice, man.
Yeah, I love the way you can... I wish I could do it now myself. I can't remember. My memory's not as sharp as it was. But I love the way you can do it. You know the details of everything. Just certain ones, I thought there were injustices to Rangers. The League Cup final when the free kick was taken. As we all know, that famous free kick, we were battering lumps at them. And their goalkeeper, Fraser Forster, an absolute amazing game. Had a great number of saves. But the free kick, 3 players with green and white hoops on were offside. 3 of them offside, and they were allowed to score a goal. I just can't believe it. The whistle never went. That's, to me, the worst. I know it's a silly one, but that was the worst I've ever seen. 3 green and white hoops jerseys in the box when the ball comes in, and one of them puts the ball away, and none of them blowed offside. Just wrong.
Do you know there's a lot of coincidences to that thing there that you've mentioned? Now, that happened at the east end of Hampden, correct, Southside?
Yes.
And it happened at right on the line of the penalty box. Is that correct, Southside?
Sure did.
And one of the people involved is the same person. And is that correct, Southside?
Sure is.
So a bonus point, again, for any of the listeners that want to phone in. And we're going to get the phone lines open because we want to hear your point. And should we take this to full road? And would you be willing to support the club? It might mean dipping your hand in your pockets. That'll separate the supporters for the fans outside, doesn't it? Put your hand in your pocket.
I'm good. Listen, a lot of people have sat quiet for a long time. You've seen it happen. You've seen all it happen.
Can I ask you something quickly before you finish your point?
Mm-hmm.
You've known me for a long time, yeah?
Yep.
Do I blame referees?
No.
It's not.
But we should.
I'm not like the bridge man who player of the year one season touched the ball 3 times, 4 assaults, 2 not proven on a football park, right?
All right? True as well. All true.
I know. I've seen the pictures, but this isn't. Beaton might have got it wrong, but that's what VAR's there for, and they got it wrong. They're either totally incompetent, should never be allowed to do their job, or they're cheating. It's one or the other. Can it be?
I would go for the latter. I would go for the latter.
You're no. Southside, carry on, mate. Sorry.
No, it's just, listen, see, sometimes when some of the refs are incompetent on the park, you actually give them a job in the VAR room and they still can't get it right. You know what I mean? I don't know whether they looked at it or no. That's something that Rangers and Patrick Stewart's probably going to ask a question. Let's hear the audio. What was discussed? Was there anything discussed? I don't even think they looked at it, to be honest. But I don't know, because being at the game and what happened and the time it took to take the free kick, sometimes they might show you something on the telly. They might show you a replay, you know, or something like that. If it's close or that, sometimes they show you. You see it and you watch the football in England. They're quite quick to show you a replay as the ball just crossed the line before he's putting it across the field of the play. When they're attacking or that, the byline, whatever, they'll maybe show you a replay. But I don't know if they showed a replay of the foul and where it was or what happened, because I was at the game. But it'll be interesting to see if they asked for the audio and was it discussed. I think Rangers have got a right to ask. Well, I'm sure they'll probably say they never looked at it.
Aye. And then you need to know it was a complete and live audio, mate.
Aye. Well, aye.
You would think, sensibly, you would think all of the items associated with that would be there. There's the audio, there's the video, blah, blah, blah. This is what we saw, or this is what we didn't see. If we didn't see anything, then you're totally incompetent. Totally incompetent, by the way. What else was going on in the park? There was nothing else going on in the park, but you got Cherny running across, and the boy, Shant, what's his name? Can't remember his name, Scales. He was grabbing him. That's the only thing that was going on in the park that anybody was interested in. And it ran probably maybe 3 seconds. And the nobody of the official side, including VAR, saw that. Can't believe it.
By the way, this is my problem. I thought VAR was going to improve the game. I don't know if it is. These things would have happened in the past. And yeah, we might again face some, and we've lost for some. But once you've broke VAR on Southside, you've got to, I'll say it again, and I'm not being flippant, you're either pregnant and you're no. It's either a penalty or it's no. Yeah? You know, they might have missed the penalty, but that's not the point, is it?
No, I think probably the only thing that I see it's helped us in is probably VAR, is what has been in Europe for us. Because listen, we used to be on some horrendous decisions, but Scotland, as we're talking about the now, I thought VAR would have evened it up a bit, and you'd have went, well, do you know what? a lot of decisions that we've not had in the last wee while that'll even it out now. They'll get it right. You know, you'll see things that, and sometimes it'll go against us as it's happened. Like they gave a penalty against Suter, remember? Didn't look as if it was a great handball, the way his body shape, the way you run, and the way. But listen, we got it gave against us, and you go, well, fine. You can see why they gave it. Not happy with it, but we understand it, right? Not happy, but now when you're thinking, I'll be honest, I don't even think they'll look at it. It'll be interesting to see what he says. I know they've come out and said that it was a penalty, I reckon, and I know seemingly the rumour is they two have been suspended for a week or something. They're not getting the day VAR. But that's not good. They had to make a decision at the time in a game, in a cup final.
I'll say it again. They're either that incompetent, they shouldn't be doing their job. And if that's there's conversations between them and the referee, and he's involved in it, that makes it the three of them, right? And if that is the case, they're that incompetent, that scared, or they're cheating. It's one of the three, mate.
I'll go for the latter.
Aye, I know. It's shocking. And we're just on the receiving end of another shocking decision, which that mob across the city think that they get everything against them, but far from it. And that's just the way it is, mate. Hopefully we'll be vocal about it, and we'll see what happens. But you've got McClellan there, who actually came out and said he hates us. No, he's come out. We've seen the quote and all that, and he's up there at the SFA, and he's publicly stated it. So you've got him and you've got Maxwell, who I don't know what he does. I hear him talk sometimes, talk a lot of rubbish most of the time. Then you don't hear from him. And you've got Doncaster, who supposedly is leaving at some point, working his notice. But it's time to clear it all out, mate. It's time to change the whole league structure. It should be a 20-league team structure. That's what I've always thought. It doesn't matter. It should be a 20-team league and try and make another league below it, and then get the B teams involved and get something happening and make it a bit more better. Play each other twice a season and just go for it. But as long as you've got that cabal up there, mate, and you can't oust them, and the other clubs are going to help you oust them. We've tried before, and a lot of them are just thinking of their own self-interest, and a lot of them are newer way-minded of thinking, so they go against us. And that you can even go back to the old St Mirren chairman when we won the league and we're going to cross the Squinty Bridge, and he said he hopes it collapsed and the rats fell in the Clyde. You know, that's what you're up against. And he's a chairman of St Mirren at the time, no? So if that's what you're up against, mate, you know.
Aye. Listen, we'll get the phone lines open, Jess.
Go for it.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Southside? Dignified silence or go as far as you can?
I think there's enough there. It's been going on for years, mate. As you said, remember, can't extend a season because we're going for a tour of Japan. You know what I mean? Which never happened. Keen away, just telling clubs we're going to not give you any money. We need to vote in this league title now. He's better do it and all that, and they all get forced into doing it. It's a shambles, mate. Couldn't get a Sky deal away back and they sent us down the leagues because they were going to sell out their Saturdays. I mean, look, we're in the stadiums now, but how far down the road many years was that? Can't even sell out their own gruns, the vast majority of them. That bad. St Johnstone directors, the guy that runs them, think again is another stand because he's losing money. But listen, there's a list there. Hopefully we'll be vocal about it and we'll see where it takes us. It'll try and get brushed under the carpet. It'll be the usual, won't it? Oh, sorry, we just made a mistake and all that. But there's plenty of stuff there that you can show them. They make plenty of mistakes, that's for sure.
So, are the media complicit in this bridge?
100%.
Did Mr. Clement say that you boys have to unearth this, or look into this? Is he intimating you've got a job today?
Well, sorry.
If you look at it, this wasn't uncovered by the TV company. This wasn't uncovered. It was somebody watching the game, and it's all blew up for there. So
yeah, sorry, pal. Sorry.
So it was never even discussed. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I never watched any of the after game things. Firstly, I was on here, but secondly, I wouldn't have done it anyway because of how I was feeling. But that's another story. But so, where does the cover-up start? Who's involved? The cabal, yeah? The press, some of the pundits, some of the placement in the media. We know what we see, their narratives. People have to wake up to it. Rich.
We have to, somewhere and somehow, and I'd gladly help Rangers to get through this. And I mean, I'm thousands of fans would put their hand in their pocket and give Rangers a couple of pounds to take this all away. If we need to take it all away, got to watch it. We don't know what that money would be classified as, but you know, there's plenty of people who would gladly help Rangers out if they have to. I think 3 times now we've officially taken a case to the SPFL/SFA, and it's been ended up in the SFA, and they've said no, you're not getting it, whatever. You know, it's been refused. So you have to eat humble pie and shut up. And I'm no for shutting up. I said it before a long time ago. I want an absolute animal in our chief executive, and he just goes in there and straight in their offices and absolutely batters them, verbally speaking, of course, because what's happening is wrong. In every sense of the word, it's wrong. Rangers were cheated, and there's no doubt about it. 100% they were cheated. And you were mentioning I looked up YouTube and I saw a cutout for the BBC after the match, and after the match they said that was a definite penalty. The BBC said, and you can knock me down with a feather when they said it. But there you go. Even the BBC said that was a definite penalty, but they couldn't lay out the steps of what should happen next. Obviously that's it. They've said it, and they'll not want to know anything about it. And the STV, I've never heard anything about it. So, and the papers, well, the papers are just glorifying the great victory of the unwashed. That's all they're doing, you know. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, it's wrong.
Right, okay. Listen, it's a difficult situation. Southside, I generally thought the VAR would help the game. I don't know if it has.
It does. VAR probably works if you use it correctly, and it's used correctly. I mean, you can see every time. The thing is, right, you score a goal whenever it is, and then you obviously, while you're celebrating, then you think after it, hold on, what's going to happen now? Because you know, retrospectively, there's going to be a VAR check somewhere when a goal's scored. They know they're going to look back to see how can we stop this goal counting, because that's, even when you watch all the games, that's but a lot. But and then you get told, oh, it's all right, or it's a quick check and it's there, and you can still, that's it, it's a goal. But it should help the game. It's an easy thing to implement. It shouldn't be hard. Just have a set of rules and what you check on, where it needs to be checked on, and that's it. It gets done all the time, and it's straightforward.
All right, we've been joined by a Rangers legend. Evening, Jimmy.
Good evening. Thanks for taking my call.
Always a pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure.
Mate, this thing about the referee and all that, and the penalty kick with Cherny and all the rest of it, I agree that should have went to VAR, and the VAR guy should have said, penalty to the Rangers would have probably won the cup. And there has been decisions that's went against us. But they're still not getting away from the fact that we've not got experienced players and we've not got quality players at Ibrox. But it wouldn't make any difference who the referee was, who the VAR was. They'd be winning the games, they'd be outclassing the opposition, they'd be scoring the goals, and it wouldn't come into it. Or maybe this, maybe that. The cup final's not going to get replayed. All these historical perceived injustices, they're all done and dusted. We've got them coming to Ibrox in a couple of weeks' time. We need to hammer them, and then there's no ifs, buts and maybes. And that'll be that. That'll show them that we're a far better team. If whether we do that or whether we don't, that's a different kettle of fish. But I still think it comes down to the quality of the Rangers players and the experience of the Rangers players. We've got a lot of young players there. I mean, if you're anybody that's seen that Jeff there, that fullback, the Brazilian boy, and watched him in the one game, they would have thought, what is he? He's horrendous. He's actually a good football player, and it's just a lack of experience that he makes the mistakes and gives the ball away all the time. Tavernier, as usual, couldn't get by the first man when he was crossing the ball. You know, it's down to what the quality of our players and the quality of our team, and that's what's causing the problems. It's no all the injustices in that. And then when they say that, things have took a wee turn and we're doing all right, you know, well, you're looking at the games that we played where they're saying, you know, there was all teams at the bottom of the league, Kilmarnock at the bottom of the league, Ross County at the bottom of the league. We got a 1-0 against St John's, I think it was. Then there was a terrible game against Dundee United. And then the two games that we were up against opposition that were supposed to be not too bad, we failed. We failed against Tottenham when we had the opportunity to beat them. And then we failed again against the Celtic. Fair enough, it went to penalty kicks, went to this, went to that. But we could have beat them. We could have beat them in the 90 minutes. We had the opportunities and we had the chances. Fair enough, the goalkeeper stoked a couple of shots for them as well. But we're still getting our chances and we're still getting the opportunities for all these games, and we're failing to take them. Nothing to do with the referee at the time, or nothing to do with the VAR people or whatever. It's to do with a lack of quality and a lack of experience in the players. And a lot of it's to do with the hunger of the players and all this business with our centre. I should never be a centre forward at the Rangers that's shying away from taking a penalty kick, that's shying away from an opportunity to get a goal. And it's all right saying, well, it's the manager's decision. But in training, they must be taking penalty kicks. So the centre forward would be one of the ones that would be grabbing the ball and putting it down. And any of the strikers to score a goal for a penalty kick. You know, it shouldn't come down to, who are we going to get? We'll end up with a goalkeeper and we'll end up with a fullback. It's not the boy that is fullback. Good on him that he took the kick. Because he's another one. It's just lack of experience. He's a good football player, that boy did one. But it's just lack of experience, and we shouldn't be making all these excuses. And then all this business of simple the best. We shouldn't be playing all that simple the best stuff. We should be playing marching through Georgia, and that's the sort of tunes that the teams come out to. And then nobody can say anything about that then. But it gets the spirit up and lets the team know what we're all about and what the fans and what we're trying to do. You know, there's too many, this, that, and the next thing. You know, if my auntie was my uncle and all that. Just get the team out and tell them, this is what's going to happen. You're going out there to win. We've got that opportunity now when they come to Ibrox, because he'll have them right up for that game. He'll tell them, if we go out there, hammer them, that's a league done and dusted. And that can't happen. We can't allow that to happen. There's no way that can happen. We've got to beat them, regardless of this team building and doing this and doing that. You know, it's not a young, unexperienced team. Most of the guys have been there for the majority of the season now. Well, at least the season. Some of them have been there longer. We're half of last season as well. So it's not as if we're just messing about and trying to build this and build that. We should be showing up better. We should be winning the games that matter. The games that matter, we still don't win them. And that's where the problem lies in our minds.
Southside.
Aye, you see a lot, Jimmy. It's correct. I agree. When I came away from the game on Sunday, I never thought anything about the decision that we didn't get with the VAR thing, and I don't. I agree. We've got to beat them, and I think the game at January is the one where I think the team will be fired up, and they'll need to produce on the day, and we'll need to get that victory. I do agree. We need to try and agree with what you're saying. We've had Balogun played in that. Apart from maybe Proper, that just came in, and I'm one or two others. The majority of them have played in these sort of games before. Jeff did only played in one, I think. So probably he's got a wee bit of experience, but it's good for him because it should wind them in when we get these games coming up. We've not won the games that mattered. We should have beat Tottenham as well, and we didn't. But I still think it was a good result. I think we dropped energy levels on Sunday for a few of the players. Jimmy, I think, happened as well. And like I said, penalty kicks is penalty kicks. We've been on the receiving end of it. We've been winners before, and this time we've not done it. And the most important thing is we didn't get the cup. and that's the most important thing that we should be looking for as a support. That's what we wanted, and I thought Clement tactically got it pretty well. I think he's managed to sort of turn it round a bit, but like I said, we'll beat Kilmarnock, we'll beat Ross County and St Johnstone and that. We've got a run of games now, and it's just about making sure we get the next 3 wins. You can only play who you're playing next, and it's Dundee at Ibrox. So we need to make sure that we come out, play well, and hopefully get a good result and stick a few goals by and just keep the confidence going, Jimmy. I think that's what we need to look at now, keep the confidence going and keep the wins till we get to that game in January, mate.
Jimmy?
Oh, definitely. It's no. I mean, it's no. I don't see it as going down disaster as what a lot of the fans were saying earlier on. I mean, I stopped listening for a while because it was getting on my nerves when I was listening to it all. You know, because there is a lot of inexperience in the team, and the only way we'll get experience is playing games. But I don't. That the excuse business, you know, as I say, I would drop all this simply the best stuff and the excuse business and get down to actually winning games and competing. And going for the likes of the Celtic, because unless we wipe our flair with him, which I think we've got a good chance of doing at Ibrox, because they'll never have a greater hunger there if they say, well, that was an injustice in the League Cup final. We took them to a full game plus an extra 30 minutes, and then it went to penalty kicks, and it was unlucky. But the penalty kicks is another one. They all practice taking penalty kicks and all that and doing this and training and that. But what about the goalkeeper actually trying to save a penalty kick? Because the games that we've went to in penalty kicks, the ones that mattered again, and the, what do you call it, the UEFA Cup final,
Seville.
That one, McGregor never came near any of the penalty kicks. And then the one there on Sunday, goalkeeper never came near any of the penalty kicks.
Are you
So
saying?
I'm not saying he should be saving penalty kicks.
No, but
I'm
you saying
that
we should be a new coach, a new goalkeeping coach?
Well, I don't know who is it. Is it still that Stewart, or whatever his name is?
I believe so, mate. I believe so.
What?
I believe so.
Well, I would be looking at which they. I mean, the penalty kicks that they took were all good penalty kicks, you know, and there was no complaints about that. Even Ridvan, fair enough. He wasn't 100%. You weren't confident looking at him. And then when I seen the goalkeeper stepping up, I said, what's going on here now? But for Byra, I still think that out all the penalty kicks and the penalty shootouts that we've been in, I've not seen our goalkeeper getting anywhere near any of them. You know, even if he just stood still in some of them, there's a good chance that it would hit off him because some of them get out down the middle. So I don't know how they're doing all the percentages, because that's how all the coaching's done now. It's all a game of percentages. That's how they've got all this stuff when they have to play out at the back. It's not because they're particularly good at it. It's because they look at all the percentages and all the games that's getting played, and they realise, well, a lot of good goals that scored getting played out for the back. But you're looking at your Real Madrids and your Man Cities and all that. You know, you're not looking at Scottish football with the players that we've got. And they're comparing that and they're saying, well, if they can do it, we can do it. But surely the same thing applies for the goalkeeper in the one-on-one situation with a penalty kick, that they look at them all and say, well, where does these kicks actually go and where do they end up? And then with the odds of percentages, you would say, well, just because that's all they're doing at the end up. They're just having a dive and a shot at it. But we're not getting anywhere near them. The Celtic guy got down to that one, put a good horn in it, and stopped it. But we don't seem to have any success in the penalty kicks.
Bridgman.
There's a lot of good content there. Getting said, I'm not dead sure. Jimmy was just saying there about their goalkeeper saving the one from what's his name, the wee left back, Ridvan. I can never remember the boy's name. Yeah, I think that it was trundled along the ground. It was an easy save for him. But I do agree, as far as our goalkeeper is concerned, at the moment, and I've seen him for penalties, I think he's only saved one that I can remember. Maybe Oxford's got a far better short memory than that. He may be able to tell us. But yeah, I've seen it going the correct way, but getting nowhere near it. And these are the things that Jimmy was mentioning. And you're absolutely right there, Jimmy. As far as I'm concerned, But, you know, I think we scored goals. The rest of our penalty kicks were very good. Sharply taken with a bit of pace on it. And I think Ridvan never had any pace on his shot. It just trundled along the deck. And I think it was an easy one. You notice that their goalkeeper might have went the right way, but he was never getting anywhere near the other ones. But I think it's tough. I think it's tough to do. And I think that the team that we've got that played against them in Sunday, I think that was a tremendous display over 90 minutes or over 120 minutes by the lads. I really do. We matched them in every section of the park. We matched them, and that's all you can ask for. And we were tough, we were fast. When we were breaking, we were excellent. We were a far better side going forward than defending. But we did that bit as well. I think we were the better team. Personally saying, I think we were the better team in Sunday. And but for certain things happening, we did get into the box. We did have chances, and their goalkeeper saved a few, and we missed a couple. But seriously, I still think I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, particularly the rest of this year. And I don't see anybody being able to stop Rangers. The way Rangers are playing it now, I think Rangers are going to do very, very well, providing we've got players. Right, we can't go into 3 players injured or anything like that. We just can't get into that situation. Otherwise, we're not going to win games.
Jimmy, I take your point. The narrative, my initial reaction was that the 2 big minutes in the game, and I'm not talking about refereeing decision, but the 2 moments we had a chance to make it 2-0. When Big Balogun goes running through, and then we've got them 4-on-1, yeah. We should be making. Listen, you never say you're going to score 100%, but we never even got a shot at goal, yeah.
Aye, there's no going to be a lot of chances in the games, but if you get 3 chances, you're looking to be putting 2 of them away. When you seen there was a few instances when you seen them breaking. One of them, our goalkeeper managed to get down to it, and then he was just lucky that it broke away to one of us, and it never broke away to one of them, or else it would have been into the back of the net. But the difference between when they're breaking away, you're like, they're going to score. Whereas when you're breaking away, there's a hesitancy of what they're going to do. I mean, it's much better than now with the 2 guys, like Manny and the other boy playing, the Brazilian number 99, than what there is when, what's his name playing?
Dessers,
aye, definitely, because you've got a chance there. But when Dessers does it, you know, you're like, he's either going to do something.
Oh, you still there, Jimmy? Southside.
Aye, listen, we've got better movement up front. The man's still going to be inexperienced, maybe make the odd wrong decision, but he's shown a lot of quality as well, and he's shown a lot of inventiveness as well. And it looks like if he's presented with a few chances in the box, he's been quite clinical so far, with a few different types of goals as well. Danilo gets on the score sheet on Sunday, which will help him and all. Hadji had a good second half. Cherny probably be a rest this week up to Saturday will probably help him. Cortez, Matondo, they played 45 minutes last night in the B game. Started the first half, so it gets minutes into them. We've got them coming back into the contention. Cortez, I think, will be ahead of Matondo, purely because the manager bought him. But it's an extra 2 bodies, and maybe Tom Lawrence in a week or 2 might be back in contention and all. So it's an extra body to add into the squad. The only problem is we're light at central defence. That's the problem with Suter being out injured, because we've really only got about a best 14. We've sort of relied on 14 players mostly, but now we've probably bumped it up to about 17 now, that can sort of feature in the squad now going forward. So I'm just hoping we could just get back to winning, get back to the league games, just get back to winning ways. And then when we get them on the 2nd of January, we'll need to have a right good go at Ibrox.
Aye. Jimmy, are you still with us, mate? You still there?
I get cut off. Get cut off and then it went away again. I don't know what happened.
You get cut off mid full screen there. Well, listen, I think the point you're making, but a better team when Dessers isn't there, is that the point you're trying to make? We're trying to make you.
Oh, definitely. I think we'd have won it in the 90 minutes as well if we'd have felt Suter playing in somebody there rather than Popper. Popper had a good game, but I think Suter would have been a better option, better central defence. Suter and Balogun. To me, that's our best pairing now. Although Balogun's getting on a bit, I still think Suter and Balogun. Balogun stop serving and Suter can play a bit of football and play it out. Plus, he can get forward with the headers. So I think it would have been. I think it would have won it over 90 minutes if Suter had been in central defence. I don't think the issue with Raskin would have happened, where Raskin sort of hesitated and he'd have it the wrong way, and then they get in and not let them get any score, But
would you make his for him, Jimmy? Raskin?
Who, Raskin, brilliant. Good, putting in a shift. The two of them putting in a shift, Barron and all. They're working. The team it's no far away. I think, depending on what happens in the January transfer window, if he gets rid of a few and he gets somebody in, I'd sooner see him getting rid of 2 or 3, like your Dowles and all these kind of folk, and get rid of maybe 2 or 3 and bring one guy in that's got the quality, rather than bringing in the numbers. I don't see as this bringing in lots of people, get buy one, get one free and all this carry on, I don't see that working now. I think we should be fine-tuning and looking for a player that's either coming to the end of his career or somebody that's in the peak of his career and it's able to do a turn for us right away.
You don't want projects, is that your point? You don't want a project?
We've got too many of them now. We've got a lot of potentially good football players there. And the problem we've got is if any of them are going to shine right away or shine too soon, then other teams will come in and take them off us and buy them and we'll sell them. Because at the end of the day, it's money we're looking for, which is the good thing about this European thing. The more we can get into this European thing, although it's not the top draw, it's not your Champions League, that was another game that we should have won when we went to Hampden against that Dynamo Kiev mob. We done the hard work there. We went to Hampden and got something. It was 2-0. I can remember right. That was important games. That's the games that we have to turn round. That's where we have to change our way. The Spurs game, the cup final there, because we've had a whole history of them all. Every time when we win a cup, we won in 55, we couldn't defend it. We won the Scottish Cup with Gio, we couldn't defend it. Now we've won last year we won the League Cup with Clermont, I think it was second or first game or whatever. Now we can't defend it. So we're not getting on for winning and then going on for there. We just seem to stutter about. And it's not all down to the players, they're doing it. It's at the top level, we're chopping and changing. New guys coming in, doing it different ways. And then I hope these new guys that's come in is going to, they're going to make a difference. It's good that this new guy's challenging the referee guy or the head of the FSFA or whatever it is about the decision. It's good that he's making a formal complaint. It's good that he's bringing it out into the open, because that's how Celtic have done it for years. That's how they've played the hard luck story. It's a whole ethos of their whole everything about them since the day they were founded right through. And that's the way they are. They'll play the hard luck story. They'll get a sympathy card. They'll get a sympathy vote. Everybody will feel sorry for them. They'll play a few wee romantic songs. They'll all be crying. They'll all be weeping. And everybody, and then it just flows and flows and flows. And then they say, and there's the big baddies there. We have to do that. We have to win the hearts and minds of the people and say, look, it's no like that. This is the way it is. They're just trying to play a game of football here. But instead of that, they develop it into a whole big ethos, a big paraphernalia about everything. And they've got everybody on their sides. They've done it politically as well. 1 minute they're saying, we all have to be voting for this mob. And then the new kids in the block, they all have to be doing this. We'll wave this flag, we'll wave that flag. They change all the flags. There used to be all these Irish flags, the Palestinian flags. Now it's Lebanese, whatever it's called, Lebanese flags or whatever it is. It's just it's a mind thing that they're good at doing. And we have to look at that and we have to do it. We have to complain. We have to put the point across. They're going on and on. They're trying to divert it now about this UB, whatever, Union Bears, or Flow Flares, or whatever it is, pyrotechnics. You know what I mean? They're trying to sort of move the goalposts about all the time and say, oh, this is terrible. I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent, the Flares. You see it in some of the games and it's quite spectacular. A lot more than that we're doing it. But the way it is here, they're making it out as if they're out in the streets rioting, they're doing this and they're doing that. They're talking about isolated incidents. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong, but they just seem to be picking. And, I don't agree with it at all, as I say. If it was
Well
my mind, then...
Well said, mate. Well said. It'll take us a while to pick you of that. South side.
What bit do you want me to start with?
The beginning.
At the end of the day, listen, Jimmy, for when we won the league, thought about things a million times, how we changed managers and what we've done. Listen, Gerrard, if he'd stayed and got us a league the following season and a cup, I think then the Premiership where I came from, right? I always believed that he wouldn't stay long term. I thought, get success and you'll probably get a move. It's after that we've spent a lot of money. Directors have put money in, and a lot is sitting wasted. And a lot of the wastage is already had to let go, and they've all moved on. And we've still got some wastage there now that we need to get rid of. And I think now with Patrick Stewart coming in, and we've got the chairman in as well now. I think now we'll hopefully try to function as a club, and with him working with coping and looking at the structure and the wages and what we need and what sort of managers we've got. Then now looking for players, I hope that we can help them. But it'll be hard to maybe move some. If Hadji's form continues, he might be one that might leave in January. Club might want him 6 months early. We might get something for him, or he might go. That will save his money, depending on what happens. Kieran Dell's a prime example. He has to go in time, whether it's January or no. He has to go.
Kieran O'Neill, Dell.
Well, him, he has to go. Just taking wages and no contributing. So we can't afford that. We need to. I think a lot of come on signings have worked out. They're all the ones that have been turning up for their work. They've all been fit. Majority of them in playing, apart from Cortez, who took an injury. All the rest of them, when picked and selected, have all turned up. So the ones that he inherited are the ones that are no playing or no doing good enough or injured. So hopefully going forward, Jimmy, we'll get this sorted by January and in the summer, and gives a chance to get a few more experienced players in, and then we can get going again. But now we've just got to keep winning, Jimmy. Just keep chalking up the wins. Hopefully performance levels will stay the same and we'll get the wins, and then we'll see where it takes us, mate.
I must agree with you. Sorry, Oxia. I must agree with Southside there. I actually agree with Billy as well. What he said, Jimmy, sorry, what he's saying. It's really down to us. It's down to us. It's down to our team, our club. How are we going to go forward now? Well, I think it was 2 tremendous games, and we didn't lose any of the 2. And for me, it's technicality. We lost in penalties, but they couldn't beat us in football. So I think it was 2 tremendous games, and playing outfield, we put a really good show in, and I hope that goes, because 3 games before it, or 5 games before it, we were absolute trash. So, and everybody knows we were bad. So we came a long way, and I just want to take this forward, and all the sides that we're going forward with, and they all should be able to under Clement, they should be able to play as a team. That's what I want, and I thought the last 2 games have been great.
Jimmy, can I ask you a question?
Aye.
See if we played with the intensity against Spurs, is there anything Scottish football should worry us?
No.
And that's what we've got to keep up. That's your benchmark now, isn't it?
See, I don't think we should. I mean, that was one of the reasons I stopped listening and Stoke. For you were getting folk saying we're worried about going to Rugby Park, we're worried about going to whatever it was up to Ross County, we're worried. You know what I mean? There are places that, you know, it was just like a day out before. You know, when the bus used to, it was the same. I was at St Johnstone. I was there a couple of weeks ago or whatever. But they used to come out the bus with their heads held high and the arrogance, knowing that they were going out there to win. That seems to have left us. You know what I mean? Even again, when people ask me, I mean, the guy that was there was saying that it was 2 good games. You see, the way I see it is, we should have beat Tottenham and we should be more or less qualified now for the next round of this, whatever it is, Europa League or whatever they call it. We should have beat Tottenham. And on the game that I seen and the way they played, they deserved to beat them. And then that League Cup there, we should have retained that League Cup. We should have won that. See, the good performances and this and that and the next thing, you know, it's only a good performance to me if you go to the Cup and you get home with the Cup.
I get that.
That's how I see it with the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People talk to me and they say, "Oh, you always say they win." You know, it used to be a case of when you were at the pools, the Rangers were your banker. You just put them down every week. It didn't matter about who they were. You never even looked to see who the opposition was. You know, it didn't matter who the opposition was. And now we should be getting back to that. That's how I'm saying he has to beat the Celtic at Ibrox Park, because providing he doesn't have a big major injury catastrophe the next couple of games before we get to Celtic Park. You know, but we have to keep winning. We have to put the benchmark down in them so that they can't say, "Oh, we won this, we won that," and that. Say, well, the last time you played us, we hammered you. And then that gets the confidence up. It's the same as that Glasgow Cup thing. I wrote in about that. That's a good thing that the boys won that, because it has to start somewhere. You have to start winning things somewhere. When that other team won all these things in the 60s, when it was horrendous for us then as well. But with that came in the back of a good period with the Rangers. It started with them with a Glasgow Cup, then a League Cup, and it went on and on and on. But the winning has to start. So the boys have won that Glasgow Cup for us. Let's win our next few games. Let's get them at Ibrox. Let's hammer them, and let's see where that takes us. Because I believe that we can get down to Old Trafford and get a result there as well. I believe that we can go into the next bit of that. I don't think we'll win it, that European, whatever it's called, Europa Cup. I think we can go as far a wee bit more further, innit? And make a few bob for the club. Plus, it's the games that attract the people for the players. If they see them, the people that want to buy their players, they're not judging them against Ross County, Kilmarnock and Dundee away. They're judging them against foreign teams, but it's on the telly and all your top boys are all talking about the game. That's when it's judged.
Southside.
No, that's right. What you say, you get judged in Europe. I've always said that when we sell our players. That's how we sell Lovencrans for £9 million. Plus, if you're scoring on the telly, live in telly, Jimmy, cup finals and stuff like that, and you're scoring winning goals, you're getting yourself noticed. You know, and that's why you'll get your move. End of the day, we never won the cup, but it was good the young boys got a result last night. Like you say, it's good for all them that played in the game, and they're all wanting to try, and some of them, well, one or two might still manage to break in at some point in time, and the rest of them maybe no. But at the end of the day, they've won a cup for Rangers, and it's the Glasgow Cup for them, and it's good for the club. But I think we've just got to look at it tactically in Europe, Jimmy. We've been good. We could have beat Olympiacos away, and if we'd beat Tottenham the other night, we'd have an extra 4 points. You know, that's how mad it is. You know, I think tactically in Europe we've played really well. I think he's done as well in Europe. So it's back to league business now. That cup's finished. We've not won it. We need to move on, and we need to get ourselves geared up for the fight in the league and just get back to overtaking Aberdeen as the first hurdle, and then see if we can hunt them down going forward. But I just hope the confidence levels stay there. We've got, apart from Souters, the only thing now that's concerning us, we've not got a lot of cover. So it looks like he'll need to be Balogun and proper, unless he thinks in a game he might fling Sterling in there. If he thinks he can do that, if he needs to spell somebody. Or else it'll be Leon King might appear for the first time in a long time. I don't know what the manager will think, but I don't know if they two will be able to play, or Balogun certainly will be able to play the amount of games that we might be asking them in that short period of time. So it's something you need to dip into the transfer market in January, or come up with a solution. That's the only two things. But need to keep winning, mate. That's all we need to do. Keep winning and keep scoring goals.
Anyway, gentlemen, we've got that time of the evening.
Right, lads, I'll say good night to you now. Okay.
All right, Bash and Jimmy, good to hear from you, mate. Yeah.
Aye. Right, lads.
Good to hear
done,
you, Jimmy.
Really,
Right,
really
take
well
care,
done,
God
pal.
bless.
Cheers.
Take care. God bless. Cheerio.
Top bear there, Jimmy. Top bear for a long, long time. Listen, get yourself some mute, because we're going to have a tune.
I'd been in exile for some years, and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now on the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Molyneux. And it's football, it was grand, from Macmillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now the league flag must come nearer with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton town. And the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar, the famous Glasgow Rangers they had scored. And the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through, the loyal ramping Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, great call for Jimmy there. He's been a bear for a long, long time. You'd be surprised the people that he knows that we know Southside, yeah?
Aye, probably. Aye, it's a good bear, Jimmy.
Aye, and some good points he makes. I get it, mate. I get it. I get the frustration. I'm just. It's the media that's really got me bound up with the narrative and the way they've chipped away at us, and that's what's riled me more than is. We'll lose games of football. We'll lose cup finals. You know, I've done it in the past. I'll do it again in the future. But we'll win them again. Nothing sure on big man.
Aye. Listen, you can see blue shoots and the way things are developing. Listen, we wanted it a lot quicker. We've not helped ourselves. Don't get us wrong. With certain decisions that we've made in players and stuff, that's not helped us either. But no, listen, I can see at some point shortly it's going to change. And I think if we stick with the process and we can get the right couple of players in January, if it's possible, they want to come and it's the right fit, then hopefully it'll be better for the team and it'll help us in the long term. But the only downside at the moment for the playing side is that Souttar's picked up an injury because he'd been playing so well the last 8-10 games. I think he's been really good. So that's the only downside, I think, at the moment for the playing side, the players. Cortez is coming back, Matondo's coming back, and Lawrence is short term. Lawrence is back to try and help out, but long term, I'd like to think you'll be another casualty going forward, along with Matondo.
I think he can sign for somebody in January. I think so, mate. I've not checked it out. I think his contract's
his contract's up in January. His contract's up in the summer.
It was a 3-year contract, mate. He's got ability, Tom Lawrence, lack of pace. Yeah, you can see that he can strike a ball and at times he can make a pass, but he's not turned up often enough for us. So he's been a flop, yeah. Maybe due to injuries, bad luck, I don't know. But it's pound per performance, he's been a flop, mate.
Yeah, he came at the right age and he was used to playing in the Championship and that. Where he played the Saturdays and Tuesdays and Saturdays, and he was at the right age, and I don't think he ever really had a problem with injury in the last year or two that he'd been playing at Derby and that. And then he picked up that injury, and then obviously he's never really been right since he come back. Then he break down again, and now the contract's time to come up for renewal in the summer. And then you look at what he's... But listen, he said some good moments, but nowhere near what we've expected. I expected him to be some of the goals he scored, like the one against Hibs at Ibrox. I thought that was things he'd bring out for us. He'd be scoring goals for outside the box, running in the box. He'd be a good player, good age, good footballing mind and ability. But just no produced it in the time we've had him. Seen flashes, mate, flashes.
You're sitting in the stand, mate.
No, and when you only get flashes now and again, it's no good, mate, because we need to have it all the time at the moment. We can't carry passengers.
Bridgeman.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything that the Southside said there, I don't know, I sometimes get lost for words because it's my club and my team. They do things from the top down that is sometimes unbelievable, and yet we can still pull teams together, not necessarily season by season, but this season in particular, we've started poorly. The manager's tried to keep us going, and now we're getting too close to the Christmas New Year break, and it's actually, we're looking really, really good, and I don't want to moan or groan or too much anyway, but we desperately need to get players in. I don't know what players we're going to get in. I don't know what players are going to go out. You mentioned Lawrence there. Then for me, he could go any time. I don't know. No offence to the guy, he could go any time for me. And the rest of them are sitting on the bench now doing absolutely then they could go as well. And in January window if they wanted to go. But we know that some of these things aren't going to happen. But we desperately need to bring people in. Now, I don't know if we'll get the money. I just hope so. That's all. I really hope so. I don't know. I want my club to flourish, and I want them to be really, really good, and I want them to, how can we say it, cater for all the nonsense above us from the SFA and SPFL. I want them to deal with that. I want somebody in there that can deal with that and knows what they're doing without wrecking the club for the top down. That's what I want. That's the most important thing for me. Obviously, from the team perspective, got to win. Make sure we're winning. And I hope they don't go back to some of the performances we've had in the very recent past. We don't want that. We don't want to be sitting watching Dundee United type games. No, don't want that. I want that team to play at Ibrox and do the business at Ibrox every time.
Listen, mate, if we put on a Dundee United performance at Ibrox on Saturday, the pressure will just grow on the manager. That's it.
Yeah, 100%, pal. 100%.
Yeah. Here's one that Fox's messages me. You know how daft he is. Sometimes we should send him HR. You know what he's like, Southside. You know.
Aye, what's he come up with now?
Well, he's saying, is Jeff Day a better prospect at the moment than when Patterson came into the team? I suppose there's similarities, age, they're both athletic, yeah. They've showed real glimpses. Yeah, Jeff Day could be ahead of Patterson in some regards. I don't know what you think yourself, mate. In fact, he might have played more games. I'll check that out, Southside.
I think Patterson's outscored him. That's my first thought. But aye, playing wise, aye, listen, it's a good one actually. Jeff Day, I would say, he's played more games. I would think he's probably played more games now than Patterson did, although Patterson made some sub appearances, but he sort of got flung in and then sold, didn't he, pretty quickly after it. So I think Jeff Day's probably slightly more cultured, I think, than Patterson, but probably Patterson, I think, might have had a wee bit more determination in that, being a supporter of the club and that, maybe have that wee bit more about him to start with. Or maybe say, I'll use the word will to win, it's probably not the right word, but a bit more heart and desire to start with. Maybe took Jeff Day a wee while maybe to settle in and understand it, whereas Patterson knew it for the start. Don't know. It's a hard one, but obviously Jeff Day showed great promise, mate, for where he was and where we got him for, and his development. He's been flung in the deep end and he's coped pretty well, and it's all learning experiences. And I dare say by the time we get to the end of this season, well, I think looking next season, I think clubs might start looking at him elsewhere, because I think you'll see him develop even more.
15 games started, Patterson 12 as a sub, 2 goals.
No, I knew he'd scored. Patterson scored 1 or 2. It's a good question, isn't it? It's a good question.
So he was 18 then when he came into the team, yeah?
He went after that Corona thing, didn't he?
Aye, and it was 19 a year and a bit later when he scored that goal. So he was about the team a lot involved in, but he wasn't a regular, no?
No, I just burst on, but obviously he'd been seen at Scotland level and that as well, and there was people knew about him, you know. It was probably like, he was well known probably for clubs in England that had probably seen him develop and playing for Scotland at a younger level, even at Rangers in certain games when they played down south and that, and played in some tournaments. You know, if the clubs will monitor them, all these young boys at that sort of age playing in these wee tournaments. No, that's how we've seen Cortez, you know.
Aye.
Playing in South America in the tournament.
Aye. What are you thinking, Bridge?
I'm thinking that, in all honesty, I like Patterson. I don't think he was, obviously we got a lot of money for him. He was a smashing prospect still, even when we transferred him for the 10 million or something like that. I still thought he was a great prospect to be with Rangers for a long time if he wanted to. I think Jeff Day kind of flatters to deceive a wee bit. But one thing he does is he accelerates greatly and goes tramps through the midfield. and he looks smashing that way. I think he's quite weak in his defensive job, and that's coming to it. And that season, if he stays with us for another season, by the end of next season, providing everything's okay, I think you'll see him coming into his own game, because he's only a youngster, really. He's only a young lad, and I don't even know how good his English is, if it's any good. Somebody might be able to tell us, but it's really, really tough for them, and we've put a lot of weight on his shoulders. So I think he's handled it up to now. He's handled it quite well, and he's going to be a great star for us. I'm sure of it.
He started 22 games for the Jeff Southside. Yeah.
Games.
Aye.
Yeah.
Catch that Southside. 22 games. Yeah. Bridgman, you surprised at that? Yeah.
Well, that's what I was meaning. That's what I was meaning. That I think Yefty is a really good player. I just think there's
potential, Bridge. Do you genuinely think he's got potential?
I do think he's got potential. He's got a lovely pace. He's got a weakness in his defensive side of his game, and that will come because it's still there's still no 100% a good a solid back four week in, week out, because we'll get two centre halves or three centre halves that interchange sometimes because of slight injuries. But I think we get better centre halves, and we get better centre halves, then the fullbacks will improve as well, and that's a great thing about it. But I think Yefty, from roughly inside, just inside his own half, if he gets the ball and he starts to run, he's a really good prospect for us. Really good, holds the ball well until he gets to their area and he starts to fumble a wee bit. But once he starts to link in and starts playing with the players, or if he's out in the wing, gets the crosses over, I think he's going to be a smashing player for us. Seriously. That's not to say he's no good now. I just mean I think he'll improve.
Aye. Listen, mate, if he gets more consistent with the crosses, his defending improves a bit because he's got some leap and he's got some pace. You know, he's reading the game and his distribution just tweaks a wee bit, mate. You've got a fine prospect in your hands. You know?
Yeah.
I think we've been joined by our Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Evening all.
Hi, Smurf.
Hi, how you doing, Bridge?
Smurf, you're really quiet, mate.
Am I?
Aye, yeah. Trust me. Bridgeman, can you hear him?
Just and no more.
Want to drop me out and bring me back in again?
Okay. I think we've also been joined. I think we've been joined by David. Evening, David. Southside, are you surprised at that? The number of games that Jeffy's played, 22?
Aye, probably, if you just think about it straight away, but he has been flung in and he's played virtually just about every game apart from when he was suspended.
Aye.
You know? It was a big ask for him because he's a young boy, but listen, we signed him and the expectation level is that he can come in, maybe make a few mistakes, handle it, and we'll make him a better player. So at the moment he's developing into a bad player for us.
I think David's with us now. Evening, David.
How's it going, lads?
All right, mate. How's your good self?
No bad. Wee bit of a kick in the teeth. Was that not the weekend? Thought Rangers were brilliant, to be honest. On about decisions, I mean, you could go on about it all night long. Rangers were the better side for me. I thought, kind of near the end, we kind of looked as if we were toiling a bit because of the game against Tottenham, but you can't ask any more. And the players, but the manager's selection, I thought we got it right. I thought we deserved to win the game, actually, for me. If we go 2-0 up, I think get the 4-1 opportunity getting through. I don't think Celtic can back for that. But it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. But I think I would fancy Rangers really strongly for this New Year game. Very strongly.
But we'll get 3 games that we need to win before that as well, mate, yeah?
Aye, of course. We've got Dundee, then we'll get St Mirren away, Motherwell away. Aye, of course, there's 3 games, of course. They'll, I said that weeks ago about that. I thought about the Motherwell one was going to be a tough one, but I forgot about the St Mirren away as well. But the way we're playing now, we'll beat these sides. The manager's getting the selection right. There's players, everybody's hungry. I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised the way things have kind of turned around. We deserved that at the weekend. We absolutely deserved that game. No questioning that. Some of the decisions were just incredible for me. But
Aye. Is the Tottenham game, is that the benchmark for performances at Ibrox, David?
I would think so. I mean, if you perform that against Tottenham, you'll beat anybody. Ibrox. I think when I seen that Tottenham game, I says if we perform that Hampden against Celtic, we'll lift the cup. I wasn't expecting the referees to days the dirty again. Right enough, you can't legislate for that, but I certainly think the performances recently have been absolutely brilliant. But we just look so much more exciting. Players just look more. They want to be involved in the game. Taverniers starting to come into the game because different movement up front. Weir Askin's been superb. I thought Diamandi again the other night had a good game. I really like Jeffy. I know he's kind of raw. I really like him. I think he gives you something, gets you up the park. He just sometimes turns inside and just does that wee bomb and run. I like it. He's going to get better. He can't get any worse. But I don't mean he can't get any worse. What I mean is he will always, he's going to improve. He's a pup. Do you know what I mean? So really really happy. I just think we look dead vibrant, didn't we? We look quicker and just look a better side.
Vibrant. I think Smurf's back with us. Smurf, you still there, mate?
I'm indeed, so hopefully you can hear me now. I don't know if it's
that's a lot better. I actually preferred you quiet, but carry on, mate.
Just a wee question for you. Do you see Tav's time's running out, although he seems to be having a bit of a renaissance the last couple of games, but he's come to the end of his career really, and looking at Raskin, do any of you fancy Raskin as a captain?
I think if you were doing that, if you were getting that job as of the 1st of January, if Tav was to walk out the door, he would be the obvious candidate. I wouldn't give the goalkeeper, mate. I don't like that. I think now in modern football, with the approach you talk to the referee, it makes sense to have a midfield player. But I'll bring Southside in. He'll take that one after commented on David's points. Southside.
Aye, David, we played well, right? But see, at the end of the day, we didn't lift the trophy, mate, and that's the most important thing. It's good that we played well, we done certain things right, we nullified them in a lot of areas. A couple of goals they got. Should have had a man at the edge of the box. He stopped Taylor hitting a shot, and the second goal, and he gets a break of the ball for Balogun. 2 poor goals we've lost. But at the end of the day, mate, it's about winning trophies, and we didn't win it. We can say we played well, but we need to carry on, and then we get back to winning wise on Saturday in the league business. That's what we've got today. Keep playing the way we talked about. We have been playing well, good bit of movement, picked the right team. We've got a couple of players who'll be back probably in a few weeks' time to help out, but the squad, now, mate, aye. Keep the momentum going, just get back to winning the league games in the next 3-4 games before we play them. I think it's 3 before we play them. And then we go out, we give them full pelt at Ibrox. And hopefully, as we keep saying, we're due one. Well, we need to make sure that we get it on January the 2nd, mate. And I think the team will be fired up for it, and hopefully we'll get the right result. As the captain of Rangers, I've said it on here many times, I gave it to John Suter, Smurf. That's who I gave it to.
There you go, Smurf first.
No, I don't think Suter's vocal enough for me. And I get why he would do that, and he's got captain experience. He's captained a big club at Hearts at a young age as well. However, I just feel in that engine room in the midfield, somebody that sat at the base here, organising it, playing the game in front of him, and been everywhere really. I think for me personally, I think he'd be a better option. I'm also thinking about resale value.
Who would you give it to 2 months ago?
Aye, well, who would I give it to 2 months ago? Oh, I couldn't think of anybody, to be honest with you. I thought we were rudderless. Aye, it would have had to have been Suter, wouldn't it? Because he's got experience. But I just think it's smart as well. You know, you're looking to sell Raskin for a profit. It's the difference between selling a really good midfielder and a really good midfielder who's your club captain. So it'll give you more leverage, I think. So.
Good point, mate. He's been excellent the last couple of months. So Suter's been good, but Raskin's been blowing out his skin, David.
Aye, Raskin's been absolutely superb. Just also a different player. He just looked so much fitter, just confidence. Getting through him, I actually noticed their first goal and all, but Rami scored. I actually clocked it there again when I was looking at back. He goes out there, when he's running out of the Celtic fans, obviously it's that end, and he's got the horns cut round his ears. Where Raskin gets it, he's a quality wee player. Don't get me wrong. If we can keep Suter, I know he's been through. He's got a wee, his groin there. His fitness has been no bad recently. Suter would be my captain. I think as well. I don't think the way Raskin's playing. I don't think Raskin will play Rangers beyond the summer if he keeps this up. And I know that sounds a bit stupid and people want to keep hold of him, but there'll be bids in for Raskin. Raskin was unbelievable against Tottenham as well. Just keep it up. I would like to see Suter as a captain. I would like to see us bring in another two centre halves. Balogun's for me. Love big Balogun, but he's no robust enough. You know, he constantly breaks down. Proper, really no for me. But Raskin is bringing out the best, like Diamandi. Diamandi's bringing out the best, but Tavernier's bringing out the best. Raskin bringing out the best out in Tavernier, getting up, wee man up front, doing a lot more. Bezrami, guys, Cherny's. We just look a lot better. This is what you want to see. People go, oh, you don't want to get rid of people, too early. Well, if big bids come in, you need to do that. That's just the way it goes. But if your recruitment's good enough, Rangers should already be looking at a replacement for Raskin if they're doing their job right. You understand what I mean? I don't mean he's going tomorrow.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, I think one of the mistakes we've made in one of our immediate history is we should have punted, if it's true that the offers come in for Morelos and Kent, we should have punted them. Yeah, 100%. In 2020, mate. Yeah. Spot on. You know, come back to bite us with a heavy price. Bridgeman, centre halves, your expertise, mate. We have definitely at least one shot, maybe two. I think one's going to come in the door in January. I think so, personally.
Well, I think we brought the guy Proper, and I had great hopes for him, thinking he's coming in full of skills and form and things like that because he'd been playing, and he was a captain. I'm afraid it's been. For his sake, I don't think he's been a big hit at all. Suter, I have to say, I felt about him coming. He's here, and I'll support him when he's playing in the team. But to me, he's not a Rangers centre half, and nothing against the guy at all, nothing at all. I just don't fancy him as a centre half. But we don't get anybody else. The only other one we've got is Balogun, and Balogun's probably going to end up with certainly the end of this season. If we're, shall we say, if we haven't got some centre halves in January, then I'm afraid the season's not going to work out for us. The record we've got for centre halves carrying injuries, and we've not got the proper backup. And that's obviously down to cash. We didn't have the cash, and that's all there is to it. So I desperately need one quality centre half coming in the door. Somebody that'll frighten other people. Somebody that's got something that other teams don't have. And we are up against teams that have got, which is height. We don't have any height in reality. I know guys are over 6 feet, but in reality, if you're playing somebody and you're 6'5", 6 feet, 6 rather, it's still a couple of inches they've got on you. We need to get somebody in like that, and somebody that can actually dominate in defence. That's what we need. The other guys will play well alongside them, any one of them, I think. But we definitely need that one guy. We can't say we've got we've had really good centre halves in the past, and we've always had people that could slot in beside them, because having a really good centre half on one side, but even just the one centre half, somebody can play alongside them dead easy, because when they're good players, they're good players. We don't have two really good players. We have one half decent player and one is having a wee bit of problems with form, and of course the other one's Balogun, which is a wee bit older. Don't get me wrong, he struts his stuff on the pitch sometimes, but no. Their place of work is in the centre of our defence, and sometimes they're caught wanting because they don't have the pace. So somebody pushes the ball over the top, somebody pushes it right through them, and they never catch them. And that's one of the problems we've got. I just want somebody tall, strong, and that can play football, and people can follow them and shadow them and do all the good things that they need to do. You know, Terry Butcher will do me. Or taller than Terry Butcher.
I don't think he was tall enough for your centre.
I'm saying no, but I'm saying somebody taller than that. But that type of attitude, I mean, you know, that kind of leadership, you know. I thought Terry Butcher.
We shouldn't go away from the fact that was sort of been at South Side. We've also got Casemiro, who was brought into that day position. Oh, he's injured as well, you know. So we can't catch a break. Balogun was brought in. He should maybe been 4th or 5th choice. He's ended up 1 or 2.
I think that's amazing, isn't it?
He's come in. He's got the experience and all that, but he can't play these games in short spaces at a time. That seems to have always been the issue with him. But when he's come in, he's usually done pretty well. But like you say, he was meant to be back up to our first choice. Obviously, Proper was brought in to more or less play most of the games on the left-hand side. I think he probably thought Suter would play on the right-hand side, but we always knew, should we get an injury, Casemiro come in to cover, could play anywhere across the back four if needed. So, now we're really short, but we've always said we were still short anyway, regardless. If we can address it in January, then he might. It's only a matter of weeks away here, you know. We might be able to address it. If no, then we'll have to go with what we've got, and he'll juggle it about. Might put Sterling in there for a game, depending on who the opposition is and what they see as a threat going forward. But in Scotland, we should be able to play him if we have to. But that's the way I see it. I think there's other priorities we need to get in the team as well. But we'll not do it on January. We'll not do it on January.
Outside, that would be one of my first. I think we're desperate for an answer.
I don't know even if you can. I don't think you can add to your European squad at all either going forward.
We're still desperate for a centre half. Proper's not shown as he's robust enough. Suter could boot to the end of January if it's a bad groin. Balogun, we know he can't play every week. Yeah, we need a centre half in January. In fact, as soon as the minute strikes, David, we should sign one.
100%. That straight away. I mean, I was asked a couple of weeks ago in here, what would you do in January? I said try to get obviously Dessers out the door for some cash, but certainly we need 2 centre halves. I was thinking earlier on the day, I'm not sure where this boy is. See Suter's brother, Harry Suter. He was out of he's a big fella, cracking big player. I actually thought he was better than Suter in his younger days. I think he plays with Australia or whatever, but I think he was kind of linked with Rangers, and I'm not saying, I don't know where he is now. No sure. But
6'7" he is, by the way. 6'7".
Well, there you go. That would certainly be my starting place. You have to get that defence sorted. But listen, I think we've already we've scored 3 goals already. We could have scored even more. We could have scored plenty more against Tottenham. Up front, we're doing all right now because we've started to play the right players, and the midfield's a bit better. We need to get this centre half sorted. Suter for me, see big Suter's fit. Suter would be my first pick in the centre half every day of the week. But you can't. That's his first wee knock in a while. But you can't rely on Balogun. You can't rely on Proper. It's your first thing, and it's defensive. So we're getting away sloppy goals. I mean, don't give away the goals, you don't get beat the other day. It's as simple as that. You're lifting the cup, aren't you?
Smurf.
I think it is a priority. It's one of the positions where, you know, the club looks to bring in youth to make a mark-up. Like you've got Egeman, etc. But maybe at centre half, that's where you're looking to bring in tried and tested experience of the requisite quality. And I think we've got to try and do that. I don't think we'll get that in January. I think we'll get, I think it's more likely to be a loan option, and with some experience, certainly what we need, and a bit of pace. There's a dearth lack of pace at centre half. It really is, and it shows at times. So for me, when come January, we've got to go and get a centre half.
Just some breaking news, people. Just some breaking news. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just letting you into this. Let me get this up. Asfar, who's the team that we signed Iggyman from, Rangers are set to sign a partnership that will prove the way for young talents of Asfar Academy to make earlier moves to Europe. The deal will also see friendly matches scheduled between the two clubs. Oh, that's a nice wee trip to Morocco for you, Southside. Strengthening ties between them. The partnership will be a huge step in the development as far as rising stars. Maybe Fox will be interested. I know he's always keen on Moroccan stuff.
Aye, well, we'll see if it works. We've done a few partnerships before, haven't we? And I've not really seen any of them develop, but aye, Iggyman's been a shining light since we've signed him, and if it's something, we've obviously got new CEO in, we've got new chairman in now as well, so we'll have other board members coming in to restructure it. So aye, it's positive, mate, and we'll see if we can get any more wee gems. At the moment, Iggyman, I think, will prove to be a really good player. But I don't know how long we'll keep him. I'm sure if he keeps scoring in that Europa League and that, he'll certainly attract interest.
Yes. I mean, sent a list of the Moroccans that have thrived in Europe. I'm going to have to take 10 minutes so I can get my tongue around someone on there.
I bet Hadji was one in Aston Villa. Remember him? Mustafa Hadji?
He's not on this list.
God, maybe I had a couple of drinks that night, but I'm sure I remember Aston Villa. Wasn't it Mustafa Hadji?
I've not got him. Yeah, I've not got that for me. There's some interesting players played with some top teams, Europe. Aye, so listen, we'll see how that works out. But as long as it's in our favour. It's rumoured that we're bringing a centre-half. The first one's going to be a young centre-half. But to go back to Jimmy's point earlier on, Southside, I believe he'd be in our project, yeah.
We've got a project to do. He was playing last night. You know what I mean?
I think
Ciala.
I think we need somebody who's going to just somebody that's reasonably quick, go and compete in the air, tackle, pass the ball, and just defend. Big proper. It's not been bad the last two games, but he's got to build up. Let's just say he's got to build up credit in the bank with support, mate.
Aye, he's got to. Listen, if you win games, you win the games that matter, you get a lot more credit in the bank. Listen, I can still see he might still get criticism, but at the moment, listen, we've got to just keep going.
He's 24. He's 24.
Is he? Aye. Well, even if he's 24, he's still got to come in and play in your environment. It's as you say, it's not always an easy place to play in. And young boys make a couple of mistakes and all that. Sometimes they don't handle it. So they've got to come in. But at the moment, the environment is we're playing no bad football. We're scoring goals. And if he can come in and play and get to the rough and tumble of what you'll need to do, should he come in and be a regular or come in and play whatever amount of time, we'll get used to playing in the Scottish game. But aye, it'll be a positive if we can get somebody in straight away. And hopefully we'll have a couple in mind and might be able to get that done early business. But if no, mate, we go with what we've got, as we say. That's what we do. We just battle away.
Mm-hmm. Aye. Listen, we can't catch a break, David, can we?
Because it's been less for a while, hasn't it? I was just thinking as well. I think there's a possibility we need two, but we'll probably bring one in January, and I would think you'll probably see Sterling getting maybe an opportunity at centre half. I think that might be they'll go down that road. Don't get me right. I mean, I watched the game, but obviously the game against Tottenham, I thought Proper actually played, pretty well, because I thought again we were holding up the park more, so it gives them a bit more relief and you're moving up the park. But you can't lose 3 goals. Suter's a massive loss. We're going to have to do something. There's players out there. That you can bring in. So we get rid of that Ben Davies. I mean, he's done it. He's done it Birmingham now. I think he's played just about every game. They're raving about him. I mean, he would murder up here. He just wasn't strong enough. Wasn't good in the air. We need that big, robust centre half. I agree with the lads there. A bit of pace as well. That's important. Balogun's got a bit of pace. I think pace is important because, sometimes when you're up but you're pushing up the park, the ball or the tap, if you're caught with Proper's got no pace at all. And that worries me. Be just Proper, and if Balogun's out or whatever, you just kind of worry about that. I think you might see Sterling in there. But I don't know. They definitely, that's your first job. Rangers they must be doing that now. They must be looking for a centre half, surely at least one for January. That's a nailed on certainty. I don't know how the lads done the other night in that Glasgow Cup final, but I don't know. Leon King, I don't think he's got it, is he? Really? Some of the guys have probably seen him in the lower kind of the boy Bailey Rice. Is he a centre mid or is he a defensive midfielder?
He's a centre midfielder, mate. Yeah.
Is he? Aye. So I don't think we've really got anything really that's coming in. I know the big boy we got for AC Milan, but you're needing somebody robust, bit of pace, and can strong, but they don't come off the trees. Do you know what I mean? So you need to do your homework. But I think you'll maybe see Sterling getting a job in there a couple of times, and I don't know, maybe the big boy Suter. I don't know where he is, but possibly.
I think he's just come back into the Sheffield United team. I read once, or he'd ended up there, mate.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I think he'd went to Leicester.
He did. That's right. He was at Leicester. That's right.
Ben Davies has only played 10 games in that so far for Birmingham, mate.
But I think that was I seen it today. It was only like 14 games or something that he's been there. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they said that because I seen every player that had left Rangers today. I seen it online today. I seen he'd played like 10 games out of like 15 or something for Birmingham that are available. I don't think he played the first 5 or 4. Anyway, he wasn't good enough anyway. You know what I mean? Maybe he just wasn't good enough.
Oh, no. I think it did.
Centre half.
I don't think that's going to be his favourite position, but Leeds must. Southside Dinbridge.
Leeds must, maybe. David, no, but I would rather start probably with Proper and Balogun the next game anyway, Saturday, and see. But I probably want him in it right back long term and give him a chance. That's what you probably look at going forward. It's we're trying to start with a new team and a new sort of build. But listen, Tav didn't really do anything wrong at the weekend. Do you know what I mean? He had an alright game, I suppose, defensively to a point. But the team's played well. He set it up well. So at the end of the day, if we can get somebody in January early, it'd be good. If it's somebody even in 6 months loan or something and it has to be done, then so be it. But it depends on how Suter's going to be and how long it'll take him to come back. That's the issue. Because we're stronger with him than we are without him at the moment.
We've been joined by Bob Chair. Evening, Bob Chair.
Hi, good evening, lads. How are we all tonight?
Good, mate.
All right.
Good, on your mind.
That's good. I'm glad to hear. I see you're talking about the team there. I see that there was a rumour, there's a word there, that Everton are sniffing about Eagleman. And they're wanting to use Nathan Patterson as bait. So that's a road I don't think we should go down. Because he's not quite made it down there, and he's a Tierney. He's always injured. So if they're going to sell a laddie, well, negotiate a really good price for him. We've been saying that, I've seen that for a long time now. If we've got a jewel in the crown here, that laddie, well, we're wanting a lot of money for him. Simple as. So
right. Obviously, one guy's just started his contract and one will be coming to the end. So we'll see where it takes us. But if we assume that rumour's true, Bridge. I don't know if that would be a good move for us, because that's a centre forward getting at the door and the right back coming in. But I don't know. Obviously, the rumour mill's going to start getting into overdrive as the window opens up, Bridge.
Well, the truth is what you were saying a couple of minutes ago, needs must. And if Igamani is attracting any kind of inquiries, Rangers need to take them all very seriously. Because one thing we do need, obviously, we do need cash, and we can't throw these sort of things, these chances away. Obviously, I don't want to do it for 15 a pound or something like that. We're looking for many millions, I would say. I think you would want upwards of £8 million for that boy right now, as it is. I think we've got him on a 4-year deal. We've got him. My memory serves me right. But that's all. It must be away 15 million or something I'd be looking for him. I'm not being funny, by the way, because he's only a young lad and he's came right into it and he's doing great, really, really great. I don't want him to go at all, but if needs must.
No, everybody's got a price. Southside, then David.
Aye, they have, but this will be the papers or something like that. Do you know what I mean? A wee man's probably just happy he's here. Listen, if he scores in Europe, like he's been doing, he will attract attention, right? I'm not saying he won't, but the now we're just concentrating him scoring for us on a more regular basis and getting his league points. That's what matters to us. But aye, every player at our club will have a price. There's no point in saying they haven't. And if they have to go, then they'll go. But nah, I don't see anything happen in the January transfer window regarding our striker at the moment. I don't see it.
David?
Aye, I agree with that. I'm delighted to see Rangers players link me, moves, because if you're not performing with Rangers, then you're not going to get. You're not going to link with these sides if you're not performing for Rangers. So I think a bit early days. I don't think that's probably just paper talk, like the Everton, whatever. But this is what you want. You want to bring guys in, kind of young, bring them in at a good age, decent price, and then sell them on. And I know, but with odd heroes, you know what I mean? You see players coming in, you go, oh, you don't want him to leave. You replace them. That's what it's all about. Rangers are bigger than any player that's ever come into the football club. One thing I was going to say there, by the way, actually, Ox, I think you might be right. I think I was maybe talking about Golson earlier, actually, rather than Ben Davies. I think Golson's played more things. But there was a guy who was linked the other day. I don't know, I've never heard of this guy, by the way. Maybe someday. I don't watch international football. He's a Danish centre-half who played by AC Milan, 35 or 36. I seen him linked the other day. I don't know what he's saying, maybe kind of. I looked him up the other day on it. I seen it. It was linked with, I think it was Rangers Review it was on. He was kind of linked. But they're kind of guys that you bring in, you wouldn't expect that guy to have any pace. Obviously in January, there's small pickings in it, but you just, I don't know, you just hope that the recruitment's going to be right now for now on. You want players linked with clubs to move away, like, man, delighted to see if he's linked with clubs and he's doing a job for Rangers. That's simple as that for me. I'm delighted for that.
Aye, that's fair. Smurf?
Aye, I think if a bid came in for the boy, it's not the realms of possibility, because the boys, we'll look at Patterson. He played, what was it, maximum a couple of dozen games, not even that, and he got his move. So wouldn't it be beyond the realms of possibility? And also, it's not just what he's doing at Ibrox. It's all the number crunching that they do, where the statistics and all that, when they've got these AI sort of algorithms and everything that they use as well. So he'll be known not just to Rangers but to other clubs. He's come to Rangers. He's shown once he's got in the team what he can do, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got a move, because if a club came in and offered 12-15 million for him, it's a lot of money to us, but in the scheme of things, in that English Premiership, it's cheap money. It's peanuts. So I wouldn't be surprised if it did move on. But I'd like to see us get a couple of years of them before anything like that happened.
Listen, I think listen, if the price is right, if somebody comes in with a mental bid, a mental bid, you've got to be really sensible. You've got to think what can happen if somebody gets an injury next week. It's a difficult call to make, particularly when somebody's playing well. That's how the people who run the club should run it with the head, not with the hearts outside there.
Aye. Listen, if we're going to sell them at some point, any of our players that somebody sees potential in and wants to buy them, and obviously we want to be putting a sell-on clause in with it and all, to make sure that we don't miss out, because sometimes you might sell a player for 10, 15 million, they'll go to the right club, it sells a year or two down the line, and suddenly somebody's coming in 60, 70 million pound for them, and you've got nothing else to go with. So I want to see Ignaman stay, I want to see him succeed at Ibrox, but if it's crazy money and it's silly money, then aye, he's got to go. Same as Diamondi will have to go if somebody comes in with decent money for him, or Connor Barron as time goes on. Raskin's there as well. But first and foremost, we need them performing in our jersey. And so far, Raskin's been good. And like you say, if you're doing well in Europe, which we are at the moment, if we can keep that going and make sure we qualify, it puts them on the short window. And if they're all playing well against teams and showing up, then somebody will maybe come in and think they'll be worth a punt. Check out their stats, know everything as Smurf is saying. If that's the type of player they need for their team, hopefully then they'll move on and we'll get decent money for them. And we should be shrewd enough to have somebody else lined up and be looking at other replacements. But at the end of the day, we need to be winning. We need to get, it's all right saying we want to sell players for big money. We need to get back to winning trophies here first and foremost. That's the most important thing. So, for me anyway, I'm not interested in much we're going to sell a player for. I want to win trophies. I want Rangers to be successful.
Aye. I think the two things can come cap in hand, mate, if you're constantly improving your team because you get it right. If you get it wrong, it can hinder you. That makes sense.
Aye. If you one big sell a player, then reinvested in the right way, can certainly bring a lot more success to your club going forward. I get that, but we need to get back to winning. We need to get back to that, and at the moment, Europe we're doing really well in, and we need to get back just to winning these league games now coming up. That's what we need to look. That's what we need to get back to doing. Get the head down, work hard, and just hopefully performances will keep going, and we'll keep scoring goals, and keep us in the right place.
The other thing, Ox, if I can come in, is you sell a player for whatever you get, double-digit millions, and it's pushing your top line up. And this allows the club to invest more money, not just because they've got it, because the club could be sitting on money, as we've discussed before, and they can't spend it because of the FFP rules. So you're always trying to raise your top line because you've got a bigger percentage of money that you can spend in. And then that helps you invest in the team and instead of bringing in one again, man, you're bringing in three. And then it becomes cyclic, and hopefully that business plan works for us going forward. So you're right what you're saying. I suppose if you get a crazy bid, you've just got to take it because it pushes that top line up and allows you to reinvest going forward at a greater percentage.
Listen, there's no a club in the world, except a crazy bid. Yeah, not a club in the world. No, it depends on where you are and who you are. But David, if somebody comes in for a top EPL player and it's crazy money even for a top one down there, they'll still move it.
Exactly. The boys are bang on there. Southside's spot on. We want to see all we want to see is Rangers win.
His head's big enough. Carry on.
No, but he's spot on. All we want to see is Rangers lift trophies and do well for Rangers, right? I mean, we get this. This is what we want. We're Rangers fans. But they're let the bid come in for Nathan Patterson. You still get Rangers fans turning around and going, how do we not keep Patterson? I mean, is anybody in their right mind knocking back that money we got for Nathan Patterson? I mean, it's crazy money. Who's knocking that back for a right back? What was it?
If you look at Bassey, mate,
I was just going to say Calvin Bassey. We brought him in
6 months for it, you'd have got £1 million for him and we'd have been happy, yeah?
It's so, but listen, we know what this other mob for our side of the city do, and they've done it time and time again. We've given away players for peanuts here. We've got a good squad in there. We're starting to get a wee bit of momentum behind us. Let's just get this momentum. You'll get, by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if you got a couple of million for Dessers in January. It wouldn't surprise me, and I would drop him off. Honestly, I would drop him off straight away.
I think that'll be for my GoFundMe page, mate. I've started up.
But you understand what I mean. We have to get down to this business. I know we want Rangers to succeed, but we will succeed. We will get better if we start selling players on for values that we're due. I mean, we're selling Joe Aribo going to be for next to nothing, you know, Camaras and all that. It's a joke. They're getting guys. I could go on and on, but let's just get started. Get the team in the park. They're doing right. They're a young squad in there. They're vibrant and they're playing well in Europe. They're all the media they know. Let's see how they go on. We've not spent a hell of a lot of money on some of these certain players. If big bids come in January or this summer, get them moved on. But the bottom line is, these guys behind the scenes at Ibrox must have replacements in mind right away for guys like Raskin. They must be looking at Raskin and saying, look, I'm going to have to look for a replacement for him. It's as simple as that. If you don't do that, you're not doing your job right.
I agree. Right, Bob G, you started all this. Last word for yourself on the subject and last word to the night for you.
Well, it's good what the lads are spot on in what they're saying there. It's a mixed bag, a big mixed bag, and the conclusion is money. So we'll see what happens with the boy in the next couple of months. You look at a football perspective for him. He's doing there with Everton, constantly battling against relegation, where he could be up here with Rangers winning trophies, as we will do, winning trophies and playing in Europe. So that's a Hobson's choice for the boy and all. Anyway, I understand it's nearly time again, Ox, and thanks for having me again. And all the best tonight, lads. Thank you.
All the best, mate.
Smurf.
I'd just like to end with a wee shout out to Steph Ritchie, who suffered a bereavement, a loss of a family member, and just to say I'm thinking of you, and onwards and upwards for the Rangers. Good night, everybody.
Cheers, Smurf. David.
Everyone's going all right, lads. Just good to hear everybody in a wee bit higher spirits. We're all right. We're good. We're going all right, So, aye. Let's just, as Bridgeman always says, just keep it going for the Rangers.
And you get your technical issues sorted, yeah?
God, the technical. I've got my. Do you know what?
Who told us you were a wizard?
Listen, I'm trying to get this Skype. I don't know. I've got it, but it doesn't. I can't find you on it. I'm not kidding. Unbelievable.
You can't spell Rangers, is that what it is?
Oh, for God, come on there. That's the order.
What school did you go to?
David, speak to
whatever.
David.
St. Aloysius.
That will
David,
be right.
David, you need to speak to one of the guys in the second team.
Leave it, Bridge. Just hang on, David, when we're finished. The guy's he's going to sort you. Right, thanks, mate. Good to hear from you. Southside.
Starts with a capital R, David, right? That'll be a clue for you. No. Enjoyed being on.
That's right, order.
Enjoyed being on the night, mate. It's always good to hear a few people phone in and talk about the team we all love. Just looking forward to Saturday, going to Ibrox, and hopefully the Glasgow Rangers will pick up 3 points, and that will take us on to the next game, makes it the most important one Saturday. So thanks for having us on as always. And
You're
always
right.
one team, one crown, mate, as always.
You're right, Southside. That angers that play abroad, mate. If you put a capital R in front of them, you'll be all right, David. Bridgeman.
That's quite funny. Okay, Magic 99, Oxford, marvellous. And of course, running along with Southside, looking after me. I'm really happy with that. Can I just say, the Techie boys as well, tremendous, well done tonight. And to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, please remember my team and my club. We are the people, and we will always be the people, no matter what anybody says. So keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Just keep it going.
Yep, and we Spanish Bill, if you're listening, we'll get you in on our night, mate. Because I don't know what was happening, we couldn't get you in. Listen, thanks to Jimmy, who joined us, Jimmy Street, a true gentleman and a true bear. Thanks to Bob J, David, and of course our Smurf for joining us. Southside and Bridgeman for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.